if you're wondering, I'm unwell, I'm not. I am not at a hospital for humans. I am at a hospital for falcons. कतर में ही नहीं बल्कि ऑल ओवर मिडल ईस्ट फैल्कन पालने का बहुत शौक है और इतना ज़्यादा शौक है दैट यहाँ दोहा में देयर इज़ अ फैल्कन सूक यानी कि फैल्कन मार्केट जहाँ पर बाज यानी कि फैल्कन बिकते हैं। साथ ही साथ आई एम स्टैंडिंग एट द फैल्कन हॉस्पिटल। यहाँ पर फैल्कन्स के लिए अलग से हॉस्पिटल भी है जहाँ इनकी केयर की जाती है। सो लेट्स चेक आउट फैल्कन सूक एंड द फैल्कन हॉस्पिटल। हु वुड हैव थॉट फैल्कन्स के लिए हॉस्पिटल? वुड यू बिलीव इन दोहा देयर इज़ अ हॉस्पिटल that is dedicated to falcons, and this is a kind doctor who works here. And your name is?
Dr. Babar Salim.
Dr. Babar Salim is in Doha caring for this majestic, beautiful, elegant falcons for a very long time. And these are very special birds because
They are falcons and they are birds of prey. They love to fly and they love to prey.
But Dr. Salim is not alone in his mission here. He is joined by another talented medical engineer.
Al-Hakam Taimur.
And together, they are saving the falcons and doing good to the falcon kind. So we are at
Souq Waqif Falcon Hospital.
the Souq Waqif Falcon Hospital. And why is falcon a bird of choice, of immense passion? यहाँ पर सबको एक falcon से बहुत प्यार है अरेबिया में. Why such love for falcon?
The falcon, in essence, it's a pure hunting machine. From head to toe, it's purely designed to hunt.
So does it mean that it will never eat in natural settings a dead animal?
Yeah, in the wild, it's not a scavenger. It will look for live prey, and it enjoys the hunt.
And it can hunt from great distances. It can spot you from how many kilometers?
Yeah. The eyesight, it's around 10 to 12 kilometers.
And not just eyesight of just looking at someone, but it can also track from other mechanisms such as
depending on the species. Some species can see the urea, the excrements of prey, and then it can track it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will hover over the ground until it sees the tracks, and it will track it that way.
So because animal excreta has urea, it can track it from kilometers above in the sky and get you like that, and get you in your talons and take you away if you're a little rabbit, hare or rat.
Yeah, I mean actually if you're talking about the talons, the grip on the falcon is actually more powerful than a man's grip.
Wow.
So it can, when it grips a prey, it will not let go.
So from old times, not just in the Arabian Peninsula but also throughout Europe, Mongolia as well, falcons used to hunt for man.
Yes, it was used for food source for the tribes or for a family. They would train the falcon to hunt, and he would hunt for any game or small prey.
And now there are games, falcon games that happen here?
There are competitions to encourage and support the tradition here. They will do that in the winter months when it's nice temperature outside for the falcon to fly and to hunt. And they will have speed competitions, hunting competitions, even how the falcon looks nowadays. Yeah,
so the look of the falcon.
Yeah.
So the Miss Falcon 2019 goes to.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, that's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
That much of care for this bird is worthy of a salute here. But was this bird always found here, or was it got from somewhere?
I mean, there are local birds to the Arabian, to the Middle East, for example, to Iraq, to Iran, Turkey. They've started to venture out more into Afghanistan, Pakistan, Mongolia for sure, Siberia, Russia, America, even Europe. Now a lot of the falcons are they're bred, so there's a lot of breeders who are breeding falcons.
And there's a market outside which sells falcons.
Correct, yeah.
So what's a good way to find a nice falcon? Like, what's the best way to spot a good falcon?
I mean, the good falcons, again, will be size, the width of the chest, for example, the age, if it has experience hunting or not.
Okay.
These are all good indication of if it's a good falcon or not. But it does depend on what the owner is looking for. Does he want a falcon he can train? Does he want a falcon that's already been trained? These are all things that
I
matter.
also heard that falcons are given a massage here in this hospital.
I wouldn't go as far as to say a massage, but we have a treatment for bird beak and nose trimming. We have feather imping.
Yeah, to massage the tired feathers.
No, I mean,
Physiotherapy.
yeah, we do have, I mean, I wouldn't say a physiotherapy, but we look after the feathers because the feathers are important factor when flying. So if one of the main feathers gets damaged, it will affect the way he flies.
Okay, let me ask you, if I ever find a bird that can't fly, what do
Yeah.
I do for it? The first thing.
I mean, ideally, if it's in the wild, I mean, you should just leave it as is because you don't know the condition of it, if it has a disease or not. I mean, from our point of view, if it's in the wild, there's no hope for it to survive. Yeah.
But nowadays in city living, you have pigeons and little budgies, and kids, trim their feathers, or they're injured otherwise, or
Yeah.
they're suffering from the heat.
I mean, we have had many cases in the wild, in the desert, for example, when a lot of people go hunting, they find falcons, or even we've had a osprey, which is not even local to these areas, not owned by anyone, and they brought it to the hospital. We, as a hospital, will have to care for it because that's our primary point of being
Objective
here.
of being here.
To look after the falcons or any type of game raptor. Sorry. So we will look after it. We'll give it medicine, but as a hospital, we cannot release it
Okay.
because we don't know if it will survive or not.
Or no.
So we will actually keep it in our hospital, carry on feeding it until nature decides
takes its
when.
natural course.
Exactly.
Okay, last two questions.
Yeah.
Number one, what is falcon called in Arabic?
It's a sucker.
Sakhar.
Sucker, yes.
Sakhar.
Yes.
Okay, and the second one is, what are the kinds of falcons?
The main species which are very popular here is the Sakar, which is in Arabic is called the Hur. We have the Shaheen, which is a peregrine, and we have a Jir falcon, which is quite a large one, usually found in the cooler climates. So again, it depends what you as a falconer are looking for. Do you want power? Do you want speed?
Okay.
Do you want the look?
Okay.
Now the breeders are starting to mix the falcon species.
Yes, I've heard of that in the market, that
Yeah.
they're
Hybrids.
Hybrids.
Yeah, so you'll have a mix of, for example, 50% Jir, which will have the power and the size, with the 50% peregrine, so you'll have the speed and agility.
The Shaheen.
Yeah, Shaheen. So you mix them together and you should have.
There's a very popular Urdu poetry couplet which says, "Tu Shaheen hai Basera kar Pahadon ki Chattano Par," which actually means you are a Shaheen,
Right.
and you are not meant to exist among the commons.
Yeah.
You are meant to live on the high cliffs.
In the high-
It's a poetry
Yeah,
verse.
it's nice.
That's
It's
how
nice.
I got to know about Shaheen.
Yeah. I mean, they are very beautiful, majestic birds, to be honest. If you see one hunt,
Oh my
you will
God.
fall in love with it straight away.
Yeah?
Yeah.
By the way, this hospital looks better than any normal hospital made for humans in most countries, which is very unfortunate. But
It
then
is,
again, it's very fortunate that this country has such amazing facilities for this beautiful bird called falcon.
Yeah, we're proud. We're proud that we're able to have an establishment like this in Qatar and to support the tradition and culture of the local people.
Falconry.
Falconry, yeah, falconry.
Okay, show us around. What's it like to be here?
Yeah, I mean, it's a privilege, to be honest, and
Okay.
you have so much different equipment to use.
What's happening here?
So
First
here,
up, you have an operation theater?
yeah, I mean, here you have the main clinic area. Okay, this is where the action happens during the season.
Okay.
As you
What's
can
the
see-
season?
The season time, hunting season and training season is
Winterish.
between. It's when the cooler months, so it's around mid-August, all throughout until March, the following year.
Okay.
And then
That's
from-
one long season, by
yeah,
the way.
it's a big season, yeah. And then after that, it goes from, let's say, March, April to around August. The falcons actually start molting, so they replace the feathers.
Okay.
And for that, they need to be in a stress-free environment. So they'll be put into centers, or some people can look after them themselves, where the falcon will literally replace each feather. So the new feathers come out, and then he's
how
ready.
long does that take for feathers?
Again, usually, 3-4 months, depending on, it's a hormonal thing.
Yeah.
So again, it's
Yeah, too much testosterone, too much DST, your hair's gone. all that stuff, you know.
Yeah, so it's a phenomenon that nobody really knows how it's triggered.
But you take care of them while they're in that period.
Yes, you have to look after them very well.
So
yeah.
this is a central desk where you have microscopes
Yeah,
and
this
a little lab happening
here
right
here they will do cytology testing, fecal testing, and also blood testing. So we have 3 endoscopy rooms where we do a crop endoscopy, and we also do a gastro as well, just under the second
Would the
rib.
bird let you put an endoscope inside?
It will fight. It's not easy for the crop. It's not easy. But
Yeah.
if we're doing a procedure, usually all the falcons are under anesthesia.
Okay.
So we put them to sleep, just so that we can handle them
But they
easily.
just damage
I mean,
you
actually, it's
more
not.
than-
It's not just that. I mean, the reason why we anesthesize them is for their benefit.
Yeah.
Because if they try to flap their wings, they may damage their wings. I mean, that's not what we want. Yeah.
That's fine.
So we need to handle them with care, and which is why we anesthesia them.
Okay, so this is an endoscopy
Yeah.
respiratory room.
Yeah.
And
So here we
looks like an operation theater with all those
yeah,
lights.
I mean, actually, because a lot of the cases we need to have focus the light on them. If we're doing surgery, minor surgery, we'll do that here as well. In case we're doing some orthopedic surgery, we also do broken wings, broken legs. So the services, we have everything you would think.
That's awesome. Who
Yeah.
would have thought?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when they designed the hospital, they said, do what you need to have everything in-house.
Wow, I can see a bird X-ray right there.
Yeah, so we also have X-ray. We have a couple of X-ray machines, and this is an
so-
X-ray image of a
So
falcon.
what's wrong with this bird right now?
We'll need to speak to the doctors, veterinarians to see,
Okay.
but I mean, it doesn't look like there is any issues here. I can show you, for example, here, if you see that.
Oh, there's something there.
Right, this
Yeah.
here is a microchip. So this is how we identify the falcons. Because
It's a Qatari falcon.
yeah, no, I mean, yeah, our falcon
Our falcon.
microchips are unique to this hospital.
Okay.
So anywhere in the world, if you scan it, it will come up with a number 974, which will be unique to Qatar. And of course, we're the only hospital that issues these numbers.
Okay.
So this is a way to identify the actual falcon because they look the same.
And how do you find out the age of a bird if you just randomly found that bird?
It's difficult.
It's difficult.
Very difficult.
How old am I?
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, usually, yeah. But you'll have if you buy a falcon from a breeder, he'll give you a certificate of,
Pedigree
authenticity.
or
Yeah,
something.
it's like horses. They have who the mother is, who the father is,
Like a
percentage-wise.
family tree.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll know the age that way. But a wild falcon, it will be very difficult to know. Very
But
difficult.
It's good to have a wild falcon because it has hunting experience, which is valued above age, right?
Yeah,
I
I mean-
just learned that 2
yeah.
minutes ago from you.
But wild falcons are, they're protected environmentally protected. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not easy to. Some countries don't allow hunting wild birds, which is why most of the falcons that come here are from breeders.
From breeders.
Yeah.
Okay, what's more in this hospital right here? There's a lab happening. There's a respiratory care unit. I see there's a main clinic where you can do minor OT procedures as well.
There's we can do everything here.
Okay.
If we want to have a look into the cosmetic side.
There's cosmetic surgery for these birds.
So we have a cosmetic side where we look after the feathers, like we spoke about. And as you can see here, these are the main feathers for flying. So you have one side of the wing, the
Okay.
main feathers, the other side
The
of
other
the
side
wing.
of the
Okay,
wing.
and then the tail feathers here.
Okay.
This is where they will, like I said, if one gets damaged,
Mhm.
it could affect the way it flies.
So can you cosmetically replace a feather?
We can repair depending, and we can replace.
Wow, it's
So-
almost like a hair transplant for the bird.
Yes, you could say that. You could say that.
Oh, you have a feather bank. Okay.
So depending on
And by the way, this is depending on the species.
depending on the species and depending on, for example, the number, which number of the wing feather it is on the wing, that can also be changed. So we try to match it up,
Okay.
species, the number on the wing, and the color patterns, so that it doesn't look too different.
This is so amazing.
Yeah.
I thought for birds they only had a place where you just take a little gauze and go,
No, no,
okay,
no, no.
you're good to fly again.
No,
But
no.
this is intense stuff. This
Yeah.
is such detailed, such attention to detail for such a beautiful bird, because cosmetic surgery, there's respiratory care, there's endoscopy happening, there's keyhole surgery that could happen here.
We do keyhole surgery. Yeah.
Keyhole surgery that could happen here for birds, for falcons. And there's a primary care unit and a path lab.
Yeah, we also have a microbiology lab and a molecular biology lab for genetics.
For genetics.
Yeah, we can take the DNA and the RNA, and we can check the species. We can confirm parents, the parentage, and we can also confirm the sex of the falcon that way.
Could I touch one of these?
Yeah, of
feathers?
course. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so. How do you collect these feathers?
These feathers are collected from molting centers.
Oh, from when they shed their.
Exactly. Those
wings?
feathers are collected,
Okay.
and we'll actually go through them, see which ones we can use, which ones we can't
The
use.
study would be called an ornithology, right?
Yeah, it's ornithological studying.
Was
Yeah.
this where I picked it
Yes,
up from?
yeah.
Sir. This is a Shaker falcon.
Sucker falcon. Yeah.
Sucker falcon.
Yeah, sucker. Sucker in the Arabic is hur.
Is
Hur. Hur.
Hur.
Hur, yeah. That is the term they use in the
That's a gear falcon.
Gyr, yeah.
Gyr
Gyr
falcon.
falcon as well.
Gyr falcon.
Yeah.
So what if I collect feathers? What do I make?
If you collect feathers, yeah, I mean, you could potentially offer them to us if they're
Some money, right?
Yeah, if they're
But won't that in a way start
A business?
a business for people in lesser developed countries to just catch hold of birds and like, hey, give me all your feathers.
Yeah, I mean, for us, we obviously try to know where the source is, which is why we don't buy from unknown.
Yeah. Black markets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't go that
And
way.
it's all done in-house from Qatar itself
Yeah.
mostly, or
Yeah.
from
No,
Middle East countries,
The feathers we get from local centers.
from local centers. So don't even think about plucking bird feathers to
Yeah.
start a business.
No,
Bad
no.
idea.
I mean, there are obviously the bigger countries. It's actually against the law to even export feathers, because it potentially could become a business.
At the
Yeah,
end of the day, an animal is getting hurt.
exactly.
And we've made this here so that animals can be protected.
Yeah, exactly. And we're quite strict actually on the way falcons are treated, and we try to advise owners about what the issue is, so they can also educate themselves into how to live with a falcon, how to look after it.
Can I keep a falcon at home?
You can, yeah, you can. But it's if you're gonna keep it at home and not fly it and not hunt with it, then you've defeated the purpose actually.
Yeah. You
It's not
need
a
to-
parrot.
You need to. Yeah, it's not a parrot.
Yeah, it's not a parrot.
It's a mean hunting
Yeah,
machine that
yeah.
you can train, and then you can enjoy the company of this bird.
Yeah.
For how many years?
I mean, I've seen falcons. We've had owners with falcons for 20 years,
Okay.
with one falcon, 25 years. So it does depend on you as a falconer, how well you look after it.
Tell me top 3 names in Qatar for falcons. Like people who name their birds, what are the top 3 names? Like in India, we have Gaurav, Rahul, and probably whatever, Aditya.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard Saruq,
Saruq.
which means missile,
Okay.
and there was Harb, which is war.
What?
War, yeah, like a war, a battle. Harb, yeah. And there was a famous one called Afrin,
Afrin.
and that one is very famous here.
Afrin is the most famous. So if you name a falcon, call it Afrin. I'm not sure if you can keep a falcon in India though.
Yeah, I mean they're not. I mean here they eat quite a lot,
Yeah.
so you need to look after them, and obviously training-wise, you need to be. If you're not
You need to be
hands-on,
available, just
yeah.
like your girlfriend. You need to give time to the animal. You know.
Most of the falconers will have the falcon with them all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah, in the majlis, when they go to see friends, they'll have them
always
in the
have that
car.
gauntlet
yeah,
and
yeah,
that-
exactly. It'll be the companion in the car with them all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Welcome.
your time. It was
Appreciate
a real pleasure.
Our pleasure.
And such an informative trip to this hospital.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
I'm
And
glad I walked into the hospital to find out another dimension of how humanity is caring for birds.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Very welcome.
Thank
Our
you so
pleasure.
much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Here in this Falcon Hospital, there is a museum of birds, of falcons, and other predator species. जैसे कि you can see owls, you can see falcons, और falcon में भी बहुत सारी varieties होती हैं. Have a look at a couple of things they have here. जैसे कि यहाँ पर जो eggs हैं अलग अलग birds के वो display कर रखे हैं. हमें तो सिर्फ मुर्गी के अंडे पता है क्योंकि हम तो वही खाते हैं. There's a display of talons. जो इन बर्ड्स के पंजे होते हैं उनका भी डिस्प्ले है, क्योंकि कभी कभी कोई बर्ड जिसको चोट लगी हो, सिर्फ अगर उसका नाखून पड़ा हो उससे भी आप आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं कौन सी बर्ड है, कौन सी स्पीसीज़ की है. सो इट हेल्प्स in ornithology, the study of birds. There's a huge confusion between eagle, kite and other kind of predator birds. Here is how you can identify them with just looking at their head. So that's the condor head. Eagle, falcon, hawk, another kind of falcon there, osprey head, kite, shakir, जो कि Arabic में बाज को कहते हैं.